Hello, welcome to this lesson where we're going to look at how we factorize quadratics. Now quadratics are just an algebraic expression that involve at the most a power of 2. So involve a power of 2. As far as these factorizations are going, we're just going to be looking at something where we have x squared without any coefficient out the front, plus something x plus a constant. We will be looking at what happens when we have a number before x in another lesson, but for now we're just going to focus on this. We're also going to be using the PSF method for this. So you may or may not have heard of this before, but we write PSF. This is our product. So that's multiplication. This is our sum, plus, and then our factors. Okay, and you'll quickly understand how this works. We're going to start with question 1. Now, we're going to write a little PSF here, and I'm going to use the method and then show you where the method comes from afterwards. So first, we're going to go for our product, and our product is this one here. So this becomes our product. So we're going to put a 6 there. Next is our sum, and that's the coefficient of x. So that's going to go there. So we have our 5. And then finally we have factors. So factors, we want to find two numbers that multiply to give our 6 and add to give our 5. Because that's product and sum. Now, two numbers that I can think of, and this is a bit of guess and check to get the numbers, but I can think of 2 and 3. 2 times 3 is 6, 2 plus 3 is 5. So now I can easily just take those numbers, go x plus 2, x plus 3. And I get my factorization. Now you can leave it there, that's the finished factorization, but I'm going to show you where this method comes from. So if we were to expand it, and we can expand to check our factorization, we should get our original equation. If we expand it, we're going to get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6, which gives us x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, you may have noticed there that there was a product and a sum happening. So here, we had 2x plus 3x plus 2x. That here, this 2 and this 3 are the numbers that are in front of our coefficient, and that's going to be our sum. These are our products, our factors. So our 2 and our 3 are our factors, and when we expand, we're going to add those numbers together when we come to the coefficient of x. So that's why our sum is this part here. Our product, so where we multiply our 2 and our 3, when we're expanding, is this part. It's the final term, which ends up being the constant that stays the same. So it's the 6. So that's why this part has a product. Hopefully that explanation makes sense to you. What you need to understand is how to use the PSF method, but it's helpful to know why we can use that. Alright, so we're going to keep going. The next one, we have this, and we need to find out our answer. So we're just going to write a PSF again next to our question. Our product is going to be minus 6, our sum is 1, and our factors we don't know yet. But there's something we can work out. Since our product is minus 6, a negative number, that means we're going to have a negative as one of our factors and a positive as the other. Because if we had 2 positive factors, we have a positive product. And if we had 2 negative factors, we have a positive product. So one will be positive, one will be negative. Now, if I think of what numbers multiply to give 6, they're going to be 2 and 3. So which one, and we know that 2 and 3 are going to be those ones there, we need them to sum to give 1. So if we had minus 2 plus 3, we're going to get 1. So these are our factors now, which we can then just put straight in. So that's then our factorization. So we can leave it there. And again, you could expand it. You get x squared, you would get minus 6, and you would get plus x. All right, finally our last question. Again, with all of these, we're going PSF. So our product is 20, which is helpful because we know our factors are either both positive or both negative. Our sum is minus 9, and our factors we don't know yet. Now, because our product is positive and we have a negative sum, we know that both of our factors are going to be negative, because they either have to be both positive or both negative to give us positive sum product, and because we add them together they give us a negative number, they have to be negative. Note, a negative sum doesn't always mean both numbers are negative. But if we're looking for numbers that multiply to give 20, I can think of 1 and 20, 2 and 10, or 4 and 5. Now, if we have two negative numbers and we want them to add to give -9, I'm thinking we're going to have -4 and -5. And we can check that. -4 times -5 gives us 20, -4 plus -5 gives us -9. So that's the number we want. And we can stick it into our factorization straight away. Again, you can test your final answer, and in a test I would suggest you do by expanding that. That's our final answer there. Now we have 3 questions. I'd like you to have a go at question 1. Remember, with each of these we're just using the PSF method. Our product, which is the constant, our sum, which is this term here with the coefficient of x, and then finding the factors.